Hey loves, and welcome to this April 2020 bullet journal setup. The theme for this month is donuts, and with all that is going on right now, I thought it would be so nice to have a really colorful and fun theme. So that's why I chose donuts. They're so fun to paint. They can be really colorful, or you can do them all in one color and have some kind of monochromatic theme. And so right now I'm just starting out with the cover page. I'm drawing it digitally on my iPad, and for that I'm using the app Procreate, and I'm drawing 3 donuts stacked on top of each other, and the one on top is going to be a pink one with lots of sprinkles. So I had to draw each sprinkle in a different color. It took a lot of time, but I definitely liked the results. And just an explanation of my painting process. So I'm starting with the line art. I obviously had the sketch prepared before I filmed this. After that I'm coloring everything in, and then I'm going to do some shadows. Not too much, because I still want that kind of cartoony feel to it, but just a little bit to give it some dimension. And as you see, I've roughly sketched out which sprinkle will have what color, so I didn't have to think about that when I'm actually drawing them. That made it really easy. Now the line art for the first 2 donuts is done, and now it's time for donut number 3, the middle one. This one will be a light pink with some kind of chocolate coating on top. And now I'm just cleaning up the line art, and then it's time to color everything in. And please let me know in the comments of this video if you would like to see a full detailed tutorial on how to paint a donut. I would love to do that for you. Now for the coloring part, this was really fun, but it also took a lot of time to color in all the sprinkles, and I always used a slightly brighter color for coloring everything in, so that the line art would stand out a little bit more.
Sometimes when I'm thinking about us, before we got lost and we parted, back to back we would carry on, and we'd do anything for what we started. But this time we could break. I'm running dry, everything's the same. We'll try tonight. This time we're not safe and sound, not safe and sound.
Yeah.
So now it's time for lighting and shadows. As I said before, this is not super exact. I still want this to kind of look like a cartoony style. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a lighter color and I'm focusing on one area. So in this painting, the light would come from the upper left corner. So parts on that side would be brighter. So I'm taking a lighter color, I'm painting it on top, and then I'm blurring everything out. And the exact same thing with shadows. Everything that would normally lead to creating a shadow or would be darker because the light wouldn't hit that area that much, I took a color that was a little bit darker than the original color, and then I blurred that one out as well. Now for a final touch, I'm adding the April lettering, and then we're done with this cover page. And I had so much fun drawing these donuts that I created a sticker set that goes with the whole setup. So if you're interested in getting them, then check out my Patreon page or check out my Etsy store. And as always, the whole setup, so the cover page, the monthly layout, the mood tracker, the weekly layout, and all the sketches I'm using will be available for you to download for free on my website fabiennedesigns.com. So go check that out and get your free printable. Now that I've printed out my cover page, I pasted it into my bullet journal, and then I decided to add a quote on the left side: "Life is better with sprinkles." Now we're moving on to the monthly layout, and for that I will be using my sticker sheets. So I've drawn a bunch of different donuts, and right now I'm just debating which donut sticker to put where. And I wish I've given this a little bit more thought, because I just pasted everything in and then I went in with a cutter afterwards to cut up the donuts that were sticking into the calendar part. But that's not a good idea. Really guys, if you do this, please don't do it like me. Just use some scissors and decide where to cut the donuts before you paste them in. It's way easier that way. That's what I'm doing with the weekly layout, and it's safer as well. That said, please be careful. I used a cutter to cut off the parts of the donuts that were sticking into the grid calendar, and what I did is I saved those parts and used them on my weekly layout. Now that all donuts are cut, I'm removing the tape and then I'm finishing up the calendar. Now the only thing that's missing is the April lettering on top, and then it's time for the mood tracker. So for the mood tracker, I did the most typical thing ever with this donut theme. I painted a donut and my moods will fill in the sprinkles. I saw this a bunch of time on Pinterest, but I just liked the idea, and that's why I decided to do it as well. And I got extra creative with as many moods as I can think of, so that I can hopefully have lots of different colored sprinkles and not just all be one color, because I only have Great, Normal and Bad or something like that. So I came up with 9 different colors that I can put in. I tried to use as many positive ones as I could think of. Of course, we all have some bad days, but I want to stay positive and I want to focus on that, so that's why I have 6 positive ones, 1 normal one and 2 like more bad ones. Then on the right side of these pages, I'm doing an expenses tracker. I've never had one before, but I thought it would be really interesting to see what I spent in a month. And then it's time for the weekly layout. The general idea of this spread is really similar to the monthly one, so I will paste a bunch of donuts all around those weekdays. And as you'll see, I only have Monday to Friday in there, and that's because I've noticed in the past month that I'm using my journal most of the time for to-do lists and things I have to remember, and most times my weekends are just blank. So I thought I would just try it out and see if I'll notice that there are no weekends in there, and then I have more space for the weekdays. So yeah, this time I was smarter, so I took the scissors out before and I cut the donuts before I pasted them in, and that was so much easier than what I did on the monthly spread. And that's it for this April 2020 plan with me. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you're new here. And if you're interested in the free printables or the sticker sheets, then check out my website, my Patreon page or my Etsy shop. I will link everything down below. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye loves!